Hi, my name is Dr. Victoria Katasi, a specialist treating children with cancers of the brain and spine and blood disorders, and I am also a wellness expert. And today I'm here to tell you about my passion for wellness. Wellness is defined by the Global Health Institute as the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead to a state of holistic health. So basically, wellness looks at a person as a whole, not just their physical health, but in addition their mental health, their social health, occupational health, environmental health, spiritual health, and emotional health as well. So wellness actually has 8 dimensions. And so for us to say that someone is well, or they have, you have achieved optimum well-being, you should be able to be doing well in all these areas. My motivation to get into wellness on a deeper level, aside from actually being a doctor, came from an experience that I had about 3 years ago. When I returned from my neuro-oncology fellowship in the US from Texas Children's Hospital, I came back to Uganda and started working in the Mulago National Referral Hospital to set up a brain tumor program for children. Now, during that process, I had to work as a clinician, but also teach students, and in addition, supervise fellows, or these are students at a higher level who are actually studying to become pediatric oncologists. And in addition, I took up some extra work outside Mulago to be able to make ends meet. So around a year down the road, I discovered that I was no longer interested in my work as a pediatric neuro-oncologist. I did not want to wake up in the morning anymore. I basically hated coming to clinic to see my children, and I used to hate it when patients would call me out of work hours, which was quite odd because normally all these things for me used to be okay and normal and simple. So I started losing interest in my work, and I got to a point where I was actually getting depressed. But I was also exhausted, both physically and mentally. And I eventually lost my purpose, or I thought I had lost my purpose. So I talked to one of my mentors in the US, and he pointed out to me that he thought I was actually suffering from a case of burnout. And that was the first time that I actually heard about burnout. So I introduced myself more to that term. I read up a lot more about it. I researched on articles, and I read up everywhere that I could read about burnout. And I actually realized that I was a typical case of burnout. So at this point, I was at the lowest point of my life. I actually decided to resign from my job. I handed in my resignation letter to the executive director of the hospital and told him I'd give him a 1-month notice because I felt like I needed 6 months of work to just recover physically, mentally, recover my purpose, and think about what else I wanted to do with my life. After a further discussion with my mentor, I was advised to cut down on the amount of work I was doing, but to hold off the resignation for some time. So I reduced the amount of activities that I was actually doing at work. And I kept on working though, but at a lower level. I eventually met up with a lifestyle and mindset coach called Meg through Instagram, and we started working together. She helped me rediscover my purpose, my career goals, my passion, and she helped me to structure my career in a way that I wouldn't work and get burnt out, but I would work, with targets and goals, and also focus on other passions in my life. So working with Meg helped me to restructure my days into my 3 different passions, and this is my clinical practice as a pediatric neuro-oncologist, a researcher, and also a wellness expert. So basically my week consists now of different sections of each of these activities. I dedicate 3 days to clinical practice, I dedicate a day to research, and a day to wellness, or building my wellness program. So also during this process, I actually worked with a physical trainer or coach, and I have been working with him for about 3 years now on a constant basis to help give me the motivation to keep up with my physical fitness, but also because for me, working out in the gym helps me to actually mentally distress and decompress. and get refreshed. So I love working out in the gym, I like lifting weights, and I do that about 5 days a week. And that has helped me a lot to cope with the stress that comes with work and avoid getting into the stress, the position of burnout that I was in earlier. So in the process, I decided to I came up with a strategy to actually curb burnout or avoid burnout in high performers like me. And I will share this strategy with you in a later video. But also I created a wellness retreat program that is actually targeting high performers. And this program includes workshops that teach people more about what wellness actually means, and also helps them to craft a plan that fits into their actual schedule to be able to take part or care of each of the 8 dimensions of wellness, so that they're actually able to live their lives optimally and also achieve the goals that they have as optimally as they can and achieve their greatest potential.